This is the Rajdhani channel of All India Radio Delhi, broadcasting on medium wave 450.5 meters, corresponding to 666 kilohertz. A very warm welcome to our evening transmission, and the time by the studio clock is 18 seconds past 5:50 p.m. This is Delhi. Please stand by for our next program.
This is All India Radio. You will now hear comments from the press. The Statesman, in its editorial title, EC's Silencer, writes, "For the hundreds of thousands who will be queuing up at the polling booths this sizzling Sunday, the uppermost query will be the 19-hour curtailment of campaign time in West Bengal. To fall back on the cliché unprecedented would be tantamount to labouring the obvious. The 11th hour imprimatur of the Election Commission of India has served as a cementing force, bringing the principal adversaries, the CPIM, Trinamool Congress, the Congress and the BJP on the same page. The truncated campaign is now the cardinal issue before the electorate as well as the parties and politics in the Bengal court, decidedly more fractious than any other. This was fairly obvious at 10 p.m. on Thursday, when it was curtains on electioneering, which could at any rate theoretically have continued till 5 p.m. on Friday. The order is a reflection of the EC's special observer's critique of Bengal, where the law and order scenario is worse than what it was in Bihar 15 years ago. Arguably, the Bengal administration ought to have got the message much earlier. Inter-party violence is endemic, and it is pretty obvious that the discretion of Vidyasagar's statue on Tuesday has provoked Nirvachan Sadan's unparalleled crack on the web. This was the last straw that broke the camel's back. Muffled is the high decibel voice of the campaigner, quite totally bamboozled is the voter. The democratic discourse has been stopped in its tracks. The Asian Age, in its editorial title, "Once results are in, it's over to the president," says, at his non-presser on Friday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi left little to the imagination that he would move heaven and earth to take the oath of office and form the next government immediately after the Lok Sabha poll results are declared on May 23. It seems the people of the country have already given their mandate, declared Mr. Modi 2 days before the 7th and final phase of polling for 59 seats, which is due on Sunday. As if to drive the point home, he said, "We have also made promises. We will start implementing our agenda immediately after government formation." The forthrightness and presumed certainty with which Modi has expressed himself is unusual for an incumbent whose party may not win the election in terms of returning with 272 seats, the halfway mark in the Lok Sabha. If the results show that the BJP and its pre-poll NDA allies command the majority in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Modi may return as PM almost as a matter of right. If that's not the case on May 23, then the field of politics is wide open, both within the BJP and outside of it. To assert anything to the contrary, even obliquely, is to do disservice to Rashtrapati Bhavan. If the incumbent fails to cross the halfway mark, the president comes into full play before he invites the Prime Minister to take oath. In this zero-hour politics, no aspirant may presume anything. The Asian Age, in its editorial title, "Silver Lining in US Policy," writes, "The people manning the wide world of India's information technology might see a silver lining in the new Build America visa policy of the Donald Trump administration. At a time when the US president is engaged in an elaborate trade war with China and ordering sanctions on Iran and restrictions on its oil's import, there has been very little good news for India from its ally. The new policy the president spelled out in the White House will see the granting of over 1 million green cards per year on a merit and skill-based system rather than just on family ties, or for diversity when only a tiny proportion of it going to skilled professionals from information technology, engineering and medical fields. Indian IT professionals have been struggling for some time now to get visas to stay and work in the US because of a lottery system in which the odds of getting a visa were very low. Trump's Mexican wall stays as a firm proposal, even as measures against immigrants from Central America are tightening. However, there is also a very humanitarian side to US immigration policies, which the world does not always give credit for. For instance, the US is planning to release, after processing of applications, over 1 lakh immigrants who were held while seeking asylum in just the month of April, the highest inflow since 2007. While intending migrants have been inconvenienced in being flown from overcrowded facilities in the Rio Grande Valley to Texas, they are likely to get a bus ticket to get to the cities of their relatives. What would suit aspiring Indian immigrants is, however, the switch to merit-based migration, in which they stand a good chance of meeting the criteria for admission to the land of opportunity. The Statesman, in its editorial title 2019's Casualties, says, "Soon after the sun sets this evening, the heat and dust of the most deplorable of election campaigns in Indian memory will be overtaken by the no less fiery predictions of who the exit polls will project as winners. Without waiting for those obviously varying assessments, it would be safe to determine at least 2 losers: the credibility of the Election Commission and the cherished apolitical character of India's